Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, this is sort of the time we're getting ready for ice fishing, but I want to wait a week or so before I start delving into that and talk this week about some of the things that I can reflect upon, that I can pass on to you, thoughts that maybe I've had for a long time and we really haven't talked about. And one of the things that I think is important I want to talk about today is fishing for bass on beds. Actually, fishing anything on beds, but really, the only really sport that is involved in this is fishing for bass on beds, and we don't allow that in our region. In most other parts of the states, you can at least legally catch and release bass when they're on the beds, but we don't. Now, let me explain what happens when a bass is on their bed. And, you know, they guard the bed. But what is different in this area and why I feel so strongly against the tournaments or anybody fishing and taking a bass off the beds is that there's millions of gobies waiting to come in and take those eggs. The bass, it only can be gone for a few moments, and those gobies will be in, and it's all gone. That whole recreation is gone for the year. And so I think it is the right thing that we don't catch these fish off their beds, because once they're gone, there's nobody to protect. Now, the other thing that I think is important for you to realize is that when a fish is guarding the bed, when a bass is there, all caution, all safety that's not even a factor. Its only instinct at that time is to keep everything else off that bed. So if you put a lure on that bed, and the only way you can intentionally do that is if you can see it. If they're spawning in shallow water, and especially in the St. Lawrence where the water is so clear, you will be able to see that bed, you'll be able to see the bass, and you can target it. And no matter what, it'll look at that. It might not take it initially, but if that bait is there and you just wiggle it a little bit, it's more than it can stand, and it will go pick it up. You'll hook it, bring it in, and you can release that bass. It'll swim right back down to the bed immediately, knowing or I guess just feeling the danger of what's happening now to its bed. And you put the same lure back to the same fish just a couple minutes later, it'll go through the same process again, just like Groundhog Day, if you've ever seen the movie. So it really, to me, it isn't fair. To me, it's just an unbelievably unfair thing to the fish, and it also is a great stress to our fishery. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.